So hello friends, for watching Doing Gaming. Hope you guys doing well, and I am back with another video. And in this video, I am going to talk about a killer tier list that based on DBDM. But I did not find any template to create a tier list for DBDM, so I am using the code DVD template. By the way, please ignore the killers which aren't included in DBDM yet. Some of them we are not going to get anywhere, like Nemesis and Wesker. And the basis on which I'm going to create the tier list. So the basic is that the killers I'm going to place in every tier are being played by the players without any add-ons and without any perks, and they are facing survivors who are not using any items, not using any perks. Okay, so the first killer we are going to talk about is Trapper. So what is Trapper's power? Now Trapper's power is basically placing trap. So he can place trap anywhere on the map, but two traps can be too close to each other. Okay, what is the disadvantage of Trapper's trap? That they can be disabled very easily even as survivors get caught by the trap without any add-on. If any add-on is not attached to that trap, survivor can quickly escape from the trap, and it's very RNG based. Like it may be two trials or in one try, or sometimes it can happen even 27 tries. By the way, that huge number is very rare. Most of the time is 5 tries max to max, and after that a survivor can escape from the trap by himself or herself, or another survivor can free that captured survivor from the trap by themselves. So that one thing. Another thing, survivors can disable trap or disarm traps by themselves. Means trapper placing a trap, and behind the scene a survivor is following him, and then the survivor disarm the trap himself. Trapper has to travel all over the map to grab his traps, so it wastes a huge amount of time for him. That's why corrupt intervention is mostly necessary for trapper. Okay, in higher tiers. What is the advantage of traps? Using those traps, you can shut down strong loops like shack, TL walls, or long wall gym very easily. And when you place a trap, you get a after placing a trap, you get 5% speed boost for maybe 5 seconds. I don't know exactly the number. Okay, that's the whole thing. And his power without add-on is very weak. Without like specifically to say, without add-on his power is very weak. He's too much add-on dependent, and there are only 2 or 3 add-on combos that can be used with him. Without add-on, playing him is very tough. Talk about the masters is different thing, who are literally trapper maze. For them is different thing. Okay, so that's why I'm going to place trapper in C tier, because with add-ons, to be honest, trapper is a force to be reckoned with. You have to like, what can I say, respect. You have to respect trapper when someone is playing with good add-ons and perk set, but without them trapper is very easy to counter killer. You don't need to be an SW. Even as a solo queue you can counter trapper very easily. Okay, now I am going to talk about Wraith, our ding dong boy. Okay, what is Wraith power? He can cloak, uncloak himself. Means he can become invisible and undetectable by himself, and vice versa. He can get visible. When he's invisible, sorry, not invisible, invisible, he can vault windows faster. He can like kick generator faster, even without add-on. It's slide, not too fast, but slide faster. He can break pallet faster, break a wall faster. He can travel map faster because his movement speed also get increased. He's undetectable, but one thing is that when he's within 16 meters, 16 meters of a survivor, survivors can see what can I say? It's called maybe shrine yak something. Means like a wavy nature around him. You can, like, you can understand what I am trying to say. Shimmering effect, shimmering effect. Sorry, I forgot that. It's called shimmering effect. So that's all. But his uncloaking speed is very slow without add-on. His cloaking speed is moderate, is okay, but uncloaking speed is very slow. but after uncloaking he gets a speed boost to compensate for that delay. Another thing, when he's uncloaked, if you Palestine Wraith gets stunned, and means his stun duration is very long compared to normal. Means when he's uncloaked and that time you stun him, his duration is shorter than when he's cloaked. Another thing that Wraith can do is his playstyle is very unique. It's hit and run, and he can also tunnel or hook camp. Because if you don't know, if Wraith is standing still in a one place, you can't see his shimmering effect. That time he's totally invisible. Okay. Wraith is a very easy to learn killer, and to be honest, he can go for slow snowballs very easily, and slugging builds or hook camping builds or tunneling builds very good with Wraith. So that's why I'm going to place him in B tier. By the way, learning him easy, very easy. Now I'm going to talk about Hillbilly, my main character. Hillbilly's kit is his chainsaw. When his chainsaw is charged, you break into a chainsaw sprint. For the first 1 second, your turn rate is 142 degree, and you can turn curve any loop or any angle. But after the 1 second, your turning rate change to 30 or 35 degree per second. I can't remember the proper number. It's 30 degree or 35 degree per second. When he get bumped, there is a cooldown of 2.5 seconds. If he miss his chainsaw sprint, it's 2.5 seconds. After using his chainsaw for a duration of time, there is a meter that's called overdrive meter. It gets filled and you break into overdrive. During that, your chainsaw like recharge speed is faster. Your chainsaw is faster. Your base speed becomes 13 meter per second, while without overdrive is 10.2 meter per second. And you can insta down using your chainsaw any survivor. Okay, any server insta downable if you are not using the broken bulb add-on, but insta downable. He's a very okay killer, means not that strong, because he's going to get a nerf in DBDM in March, I think, because in DVD he got a nerf, while his overdrive speed got reduced to 12 meter per second, and when he get collided with means when he chainsaw miss, means when he misses M2, is cooldown increased to 2.5 to 2.7. So he got a moderate nerf, but still he's a strong killer, and he's a S tier killer. To be honest, he's clearly S tier killer. Nurse, our blink lady, who does not follow any rules of a DVD at all. Like she can teleport to walls, pallets. Sorry, does she know even what is pallet at all? I don't know. Like she maybe don't know what is window or pallet. What I am trying to say, you can understand. She is clearly a tier killer, no doubt. Michael Myers. Recent buff where in DVD he is now a 4.4 meter per second killer in his tier 1, in tier 2 4.6, and tier 3 4.6. But his stock speed got increased from 0.4 to 0.1, sorry, 0.4 to 1, means when he is stalking someone from very far, he get the whole complete evil within, but if he is stalking very closely, it's now 0.4. So this change made him a proper stealth killer, and I think he's stronger, but we don't have that version in DVD DBDM yet. So in the DBDM version is way weaker than his current DVD version, where he has to literally like smell the survivors armpit to stalk them. Yes, literally you have to smell their armpit to get the full stock, means stock easily, whatever. He is C tier in DBDM right now, but after the update where he will earn the buffs from core DVD, he will be B tier very easily, and I will create another tier list in future. Let's talk about Hag. So what's his power is Phantasm Traps. She's a 4.4 meter per second killer. Whenever a server triggers a trap, when she's within 48 meters of that trap, she can teleport to that trap. By the way, her kit is only strong, I found that in Dead Dog Saloon, and without add-ons, as I am creating this tier list where you are not using any perks or add-ons, She's very weak, to be honest. Without person add-ons playing her like headache. With add-ons and purse, she's still headache. Without add-ons, she's pain. And she's a slow killer, so she can't catch survivors that easily. Like M1 is out of the question. She can shut down loops, but survivors can also wipe her traps easily. And she has her playstyle is totally like 3 gen camping or hook camping, 4 gen camping like this. She's very weak, to be honest. With add-ons or the mains who hag main, they can like get 4Ks on every matches, but that's a different story. But in higher tiers she is still weak and her kit needs a buff. I think buffing her speed is very much needed, like make her 4.6 meter per second killer, then she will be like B tier. But now I'm going to place her in D tier. She's very weak. Doctor's kit is static blast and shock therapy. Now he's also a 4.6 meter per second killer. I am not talking about his speed. His shock therapy can stop survivors from dropping pallets or vaulting or interacting with lockers. Interact like stop them from healing, cleansing, mending. If no, maybe that is removed. He can like survivor can mend while they are under shock therapy. I don't know. Even one thing is that if a server trying to get into the hatch, even if they are using keys or the hatch is already open and they just need to jump into the hatch, doctor can even stop that. Also, doctor shock therapy is an inbuilt info ability. Like without calm spirit, you can't counter that, or without locker and calm spirit only can counter that. Otherwise, you can't counter. Another thing, doctor has a tiered effect where madness effect, which he applies on survivor whenever he is using shock therapy or static blast. While in madness effect is effective from 2, and 2 is the best tier, I can say that, because in that tier they survivors get difficult skill checks. Survivors she means they source doctors hallucinations that sometimes scare them. In tier 3 just they can't do anything until they snap you means perform the snap action to snap out of the madness. They can't do anything like unhooking, repairing chain, healing, mending, nothing, cleansing, everything out of the question. And literally it makes a doctor the best tunneler, one of the best tunneler, best tunneler, hook camper, everything. His kit is very strong, not strong but balanced to counter every type of thing. He's clearly B tier because he can handle match, but not like a A tier or state killer. The most weak part is that, like, if you don't know how to apply shock therapy, and one of the strong thing from server is the W king. If they are like zigzagging through the loop and W king, and if they have strong loops like TL wall is the means weak part for doctor. Another thing is short loops. If you don't know short filler loops, sorry, filler tiles, like where you have a filler palette, those tiles are nightmare for doctor because he can apply his shock therapy on that, because shock therapy makes him turns him slow also. Doctor also becomes slow when he's applying his shock therapy, and during that like he can't use them. He has to brute force that area, either break the pallet. If he goes for the pallet breaks, survivors leave that loop and go to another loop, or he has to loop around the loop until he get a hit on the survivor. So that's why I'm placing him in B tier. Huntress. Now we have our hatchet lady. Her powers are hatchet, like I know that much only. Total power name I don't know. She's a 4.4 meter per second killer. She is a slow killer, but to compensate for that, she is a range killer. She can throw her hatchet to a certain distance. Now, Hunter's hatchets are very good. Like, if you have good knowledge how to throw the hatchet, you can throw the hatchet from a very distance and hit a survivor who's repairing a generator. Or if you have good knowledge of map, you can like stay in a center of the map and you can orbital or long range snipe on survivors. By the way, there is no orbital in DBDM, but I think in March we will have orbital also, because it was a change made to Huntress that that cause the return of orbital hatchets in DVD also. And another means bonus thing of hunters is that she can proxy camp or hook camp very easily. Another thing, snowballing, like hatchet after hatchet she can throw. The most effective thing about hunters is that you throw a hatchet, she does not get slowed down. Like she does not have any wipe animation or cooldown animation like she has for her M1. Her M2 does not have any cooldown. So you throw a hatchet, you still in your motion. Survivors get a little bit distance from you, then you can go for M1 or a M2. It's up to you. She can control, like create map pressure on certain maps. Really, she's a force to be reckoned with, and it is a like what I can say, is a nightmare. Like especially on rotten fields, and the recent Pale Rose map. Another map, if you want to know, is that's good for Huntress. If you ask me, yeah, that Edie of Crows, that is also good for hunters because she can clearly hit servers from a very good distance, because that map had tall tiles but not that tall that her hatchets can overcome them. But she has a lullaby as a downside, so server can detect her from a very good distance. Okay. And also another thing that DBDM provides survivors, that Killer Lullabies has a like bracket type thing, red bracket type thing that helps them to understand how far the killer is from them. Okay, so these kind of things create a downside for hunter, but still she's a 8-year killer. She's good to play. Now comes our Bubba. Bubba power is very like simple. Is like hillbilly chainsaw, but not the entirely. Bubba has a token based chainsaw. He start charging his chainsaw and then break into a chainsaw sprint, but his sprint is very slow compared to hillbilly, very slow, like it's slightly faster than his 4.6 base kit. And he can down multiple survivor at a time with his chainsaw that hillbilly can't. He's very good hook camper. Means if you know, he was the best basement camper. Basement Booba was the popular thing, but after the anti-cam system, basement Booba is like now it's shack Booba, because if you're above the shack floor, like just standing above the hook where you hook the survivor in the basement, and you are just standing above, anti-cam system does not detect anything. So the shack Booba become sorry, the basement Booba become a shack Booba now. His like map pressure, he can't pressure map that much, and he had to rely on slugging and tunneling too much. But the good thing is that if it's maps like Pale Rose or maps that don't have that much windows or palettes, he can snowball, means we can win very easily, like Rotten Fields or Idiot Crow is tough for Boba, but that map does not have that many palace or good tiles to counter Boba. Like I can only think the main building to a certain point, and shack, and the 3 lane. These three. Otherwise, Boba can down anyone very easily. You have to consume tokens to continue the chainsaw sprint, and when you collide with an object, the Boba break into tantrum, which is 5 seconds. Yes, 5 seconds maybe. But during the tantrum, if a survivor get too close to it, they will be instant out also. Still, Boba's kit is not that weak and not that strong, so that's why I'm going to place him in B tier. Now comes Freddy. I am straight going to place him in D tier, because let me tell you, the main reason is his like the dreamsness does not do that much, because it's just 15% hindered effect for 1.5 seconds, which is a budget clown bottle. Another thing, his dream palettes you get for add-ons. So if you are counting, if you are playing add-onless, so there is no dream palette. Even dream palace does not work that much, because if it's a SW, they know where they destroyed pallets, which areas are dry, there is no pallet. They know that much already on the comps. Even good survivors who know how to play Freddy, how to counter Freddy, they don't even drop pallets. Another thing that he's when a survivor in dream world, they're oblivious, but as I told you, Freddy also have a lullaby, and DVDM provides a bracket, red bracket, that can identify how far the killer is. So still Freddy is a decent killer in DVD because there is no bracket to identify his lullaby to for distance. But DVDM provides a bracket that provides you and tells you how far the killer is from you, means how far Freddy is from you. He can TP from generator to generator, but early match, like for the first 45 seconds, he does not have any power. He can place snares, but if you're not chasing any survivor, placing a snare is like trap a trap, and other survivors can easily disable it. Like they just need to walk over it or run over it, and the trap will be disabled. It's not like trapper where you need to waste a certain amount of time to disable them. Another thing is that you can teleport from gen to gen, but those gens need to be unrepaired gens because he can't teleport to repaired gens, and his end game is very weak and useless. He can't do anything end game, or his power is very useless in early games, in DBDM especially. So that's why I'm placing him in D tier. Now we are going to talk about Pig. Pig's power provides him like stealth effect. She can dash attack, but she needs to crouch, and it takes a recharge time. But after recent buff, the recharge time is very moderate and good now. So she can hit her dash attacks very easily. Her other power is the reverse bear trap, where whenever she downs a survivor, she puts the bear trap on their head, and those bear traps is dependent on how many boxes you are searching. The combinations are always total 12 box, means 4 servers all total 12 box. There's always guaranteed that one survivor will get a 4 search counter, means at least one server has to search 4 boxes. So most of the combinations are 4 4 2 2 4 4 1 2, like this kind of, like one, when one getting 4, the other 3 will get either 4 3 3 2, like this kind of combination they're going to happen. At least one server will have 4, and if they don't and during that time, if a gen pop, the better get activated, stays activate, means that after that you get a 2.5 second time duration. Within that time duration, you have to find all the jigsaw boxes and search them and complete your count. Means if it's 4, you have to complete 4 searches and remove the better, otherwise you will get a mini mori. Her kit is strong, and when she's crouching, she's slower than survivor, but she's totally undetectable. It's not like Ghostface undetectable, it's like Myers undetectable. You're totally undetectable, and her crouch speed is also increased, so she can crouch very fast, uncrouch and uncrouch. So it's really good nowadays, and I will place her in B tier because if it's a SW team, they can counter pick very easily. Okay, and on certain maps she is very noticeable for her skins. So her power is in B tier, and seriously, she's strong, not that weak. Now let's talk about Clown. What Clown's powers are is he has two types of bottle: a party bottle and a yellow bottle. Okay, so the purple bottle is the party bottle. I call it purple bottle, party bottle, and yellow bottle. Okay, or antidote bottle, because I forget the name all of the time. Now the purple bottle, when you throw the purple bottle, it creates a purple smoke, and whenever it survives in that smoke, they get hindered, and they are in a what can I say, hazy state where they can't see anything near them clearly. The yellow bottle, whenever you throw them, you get invigorated. Also survivors can get invigorated. Oh, sorry, that's called toxicated effect. Proper water effect. That's toxication effect. Okay. Yellow weight bottles gives you and survivors 5% speed boosts for 10 seconds. Now his kit is like that. And also another thing, yellow bottle affect a survivor when you M1 them. Like they get injured by M1 and they get into a yellow bottle, they will get affected and they will gain the 5% speed boost for 10 seconds. But if it's a purple bottle, they are not going to get hindered for the duration where they have a speed boost. They have a 2 second speed boost moment for whenever you M1 them for the first time. So uh, that during that time. So another thing about clown's power is that his power is the one of the best loop counter power. Like Sir can do anything without holding W against him. Like he's not that loopable. His power is very good to counter loops, to be honest. But learning is hard, and that's why. And also another thing, he can't create map pressure. You have to be very creative around his power to create map pressure, otherwise you can't create map pressure directly with his power. So that's why I'm going to place him in C tier. Spirit, our phasing lady and the youngest of the killer tier like killer roster. She's the youngest one. So she's a 4.4 meter per second killer as huntress and hack. But to compensate for that, she has a power called phasing Yamaka hunting. And while she's phasing, she is 137% faster. Base speed, maybe 137% faster. It's more than 130 and less than 140. I know that much within that range. During that time, she can only see scratch marks. She can't see blood points. She can't see the survivor. Another thing, she totally needs to rely on the survivor sound, but she's a very good balanced killer, and learning her is not that tough, and but using her is not that easy. She's a very balanced killer, good to play, fun to play. You can go creative around her power to counter survivors, many mind games that can be used by other killers. She can use them very easily, and that's why I'm going to place her in A tier. By the way, another thing I could do is that the tier listing I should place the killers in the power accordingly. Like right now, I should do that. Doctor Claus is better than Pig. Death is much better than Baba. Spirit is stronger than Huntress. Nurse is stronger than Hellvalley. Hellvalley, get behind, man. And if I ask about Hag and Freddy, actually Freddy is still strong because he can go for M1. Now I'm going to talk about Legion, the group of 4, or it's just one. So Legion's power is frenzy. Whenever you activate his power, he break into a frenzy mode, and during that time his speed is 5.2 meter per second, and with every frenzy hit, the speed gets increased by 0.2. After 4 frenzy hits, the 5th hit, whenever you hit a server 5th time, they will be downed. They will put into dying state. So you need to hit 5 times in your frenzy mode, but you can't hit a deep wound survivor. Okay, if they are in deep wound from your previous hit, you can't hit them. But if you hit a deep wound survivor, you will your power will get cancelled. Means you've triggered your frenzy for the first time and you hit a survivor. Now that survivor is in deep wound. Now, and you also completed your frenzy, you down server, you hook the server, you then for the second time you break into frenzy and you hit that deep wound server who is affected by your first frenzy hit, will cancel your power. So that's the downside of Legion power. To be honest, his frenzy speed is not that fabulous as Hillbilly or Wraith. Not that good. But yeah, he's a strong killer. not that brokenly strong as nurse, but he's a strong killer. Can create decent map pressure, but without add-on, without perk, he's a very weak killer, and you need to have a very good knowledge of his power. Like he's even weaker than Baba. Now let's talk about Plague. Plague, many people consider him range killer, but I don't consider her range killer at all because the range part in her killer kit is corrupt purge that depends on survivor. To be honest, I main not main, but she was my range killer. I play categorical by killer like I have made hillbilly. Then I have in the range killer section is artist, and loop counter section I have doctor pinhead and clown. These are my killers that I most of the time play. Previously in place of artist it was plague. Okay, so I know about plague's power very well. I have faced many matches where I have infected all the four survivors and they are totally in their broken state where they can heal unless they cleanse themselves. But the thing is, if they don't cleanse, you don't have a power and you really rely on for your power the two apple add-on combo. Really, if it's a very good survivor team, even a solo queue random team, they know how to play around Plague's power. They are not going to cleanse at all, and the chat system, in-game quick message system that helps survivors to communicate with each other. Just one message: the killer is near me. Killer is near me, or any other messages like focus on generator. These two messages are enough to counter Plague. To be honest, like when you are chasing a survivor and you don't have the range kit, you are totally M1 killer because you can't infect them further. They're already in the infected stage. You can't infect them at all. Like on many maps when I played plague, I found a very good need of bamboozle. That's why in my plague builds I use bamboozle sometimes. Okay, like loopable tiles like Longwall Jungle Gym or Shack can counterplay entirely because she can't do anything. But when she have her corrupt push, she is a very good killer. Her range kit has a moderate cooldown, moderate range. Like you don't need to charge your power totally. Like in Hunters, you need to totally wind up. In case of other killers that I am going to talk about later, the range killer, you need to totally charge your power, but with plague you don't have to do that. You can slightly charge your power and can release your corrupt purge to like injure survivors. Her wild purge, which spread infection and caused the survivors to get into the full infected stage very quickly, and that time they're insta down because they don't have a healthy stage. They're already in injured stage, so you can go easily M1 them. So she's not a concentrated killer, but a very good killer, and that's why I'm going to place her in A tier. By the way, she's weaker than Spirit and Huntress. She's not that strong. Now it's our Ghostface, the from Scream movie. Ghostface power is very simple. He can crouch, uncrouch, but it's not like it's going to provide him any undetectable status effect like Pig. But he has the shroud power where he get into undetectable stage and he can stalk survivor and create a stock fill up a stock meter. When a survivor get fully stocked, he can insta down them. His power is very simple, as I told, but he can be revealed. There is a reveal mechanism. To be honest, to get rid of that reveal mechanism, Ghostface had to hide behind objects. And if it's a map where everything is open, like Rotten Fields, or Ghostface does not have that many hiding places like Pale Rose, on those maps Ghostface is very weak. Like his strong maps are indoor maps, but open maps, even Dead Dog Saloon, which is which is considered a very good map for killers, he's very weak on that map also. If you don't know, if you don't know means what can I say, if you can't if you did not master him very well, he needs mastery level, and that's why I'm going to place him in C10. In DBDM, I don't know, he like revealing him is very easy. I don't know why, because survivors can reveal him from very long distance compared to the DVD. I don't know why. And his reveal mechanism is very janky if you don't know. I'm going to place him in C tier, that's why. And another thing, why? Because survivors can gen rush in DBDM very easily. The skill check area is very small, so gen rushing any killer is very easy for survivors. Hitting a great skill check constantly is not that of a critical thing in DBDM. So that's why I'm placing him in C tier. But if Ghostface in good hands, has good add-ons, good build, he can win matches very easily in even higher tiers. Okay, in a good map he's a force to be reckoned with, but in a bad map he's a very weak killer. You have to consider that, and he depends on tunneling. I have faced many ghost face who just literally face camp me. They hide behind an object, see, hello, hi, peekaboo, that kind of stuff happens with me very often with Ghostface. Now I'm going to talk about Oni. Oni's kit is also very easy. He is the demon rush power and demon dash, demon strike power, but he needs to injure survivors. He heavily depends on survivors. You injure a survivor, they drop blood orbs. You have to consume those blood orbs to recharge your power very quickly. Otherwise, Oni's power gets charged in a very slow rate. But the moment he hits survivors, they will drop blood orbs, Oni consume them, and break into demon dash or demon strike. And during the using those power, he can insta down survivors very quickly. And his power is not that tough. He can slide off any object. It's not like blight or hillbilly. He can like hug take any object, to be honest. So that's why his power is very good and one of the strongest killer of the game. And I'm going to place him right here. He's behind Spirit, because Spirit power, not she does not have insta down ability, but she does not depend on survivor. Only depends on survivor and early games too much. If your early game is very slow, you don't hit a survivor in very quickly, you can't do anything on the rest of the match. And slow balling is not an option. Now let's talk about our next killer, which is Deathslinger. Deathslinger power is Redeemer. It's a gun he has a DMR, which is he can shot a spear, and that spear attached to a survivor. Then he can reel them to like he can pull them towards him. Then he can M1 them to put them into deep wound stage, or if a survivor break the chain, they get into deep wound stage. And by a power explanation, yes, he's a range killer and he's a 4.4 meter per second killer. Now the tricky part is the second time when you attach the spear to survivor using Redeemer, that time even if they break the chain, they don't get downed. You have to M1 them to down. That's the downside of his power, but his power is very good to counter loops and to proxy cam hooks. Yes, you can do 4.4 meter per second killer. Either they are proxy campers or they are tunnelers. You can't do that anything because they are slow killers. And his power is just that he can do that much, which is power. But yeah, unlike Huntress, you can shoot a survivor through narrow spaces. You have a window in shack, but have you ever noticed there is another window right opposite to the open shack window, which is closed by pallets, wood pallets, and there are small gaps into them. You can shoot a survivor through those gaps to get one health stage. Means to get the initial health stage, you can shoot the survivors through those gaps and can capture them. Even you don't. If you play game, you have noticed that there are many gaps between blocks or boxes, like the racks. There are gaps you can, or railing gaps. You can shoot a Redeemer through them and catch a survivor to get the initial health stage. It's very good and fun to play, but power is not that good, so I'm going to place him in B tier here. He's behind Papa because not that much. Now Blight, the third S tier killer. His power is Blighted Rush. After one slam, he gets into Lethal Rush. He gets 4 Lethal Rush, one just Rush, or you can call it Blighted Rush, whatever. Now, after a slam, he gets 1.5 seconds of slam duration window to decide which direction he can go. Other than that, you can do some tricks with blight power. But at the end of the day, he's the M1 killer. He can instead on his survivor, but he he's a very fast killer, one of the fast killers. Like when he start rushing, it's 9.2 meters per second, which is 230 percent of the base speed. He's very fast and good to play. He can create map pressure because he's fast, unlike Hillbilly. So I'm going to place him 3. And why I placed Blight after Hillbilly, because many players say that Blight is stronger than Hillbilly. I'll discuss about that in a future video, and that is not going to be in far future, near future. Now let's talk about twins. Now, in case of twins, it's just Victor, to be honest. Except Victor, there is nothing with twins. Like you latch Victor for the first time to a survivors, then using Charlotte, you injure other 1 or 2 survivors, then you launch Victor again to go for snowballs like slugging, and then you have to pick up survivors one by one and hook them. It's a very janky mechanism, and we can do it. She is created that way. Even her rework is not added in code DBDM from code DVD, but after the addition, maybe she's much more playable or survivor friendly. Sorry, killer friendly. And she's after Legion. Trickster, another range killer. By the way, unlike other range killers like Hunters and Deathslinger, Trickster is a 4.6 meter per second killer for the moment, because in future Behavior is deciding to revert him to his old form where he was a 4.4 meter per second killer. He also has a 40 meters lullaby uh, lullaby radius like Huntress, so survivors can detect him from a very far distance, as I told you, because of those red brackets. Unlike Huntress, Trickster throws blades, and he needs to hit survivors 8 blades. Every blade, whenever connects to a survivor, a meter fills up. That is called laceration meter. After 7 blades, laceration meter reach maximum laceration. After that, whenever you hit a blade, it's count as the 8th blade, and laceration meter gets filled completely, and the survivor loses the health stage. Unlike Huntress, you can go for M1 with Trickster all the time, or you can go have fun by using his blades. His blades, unlike Huntress, can travel very long distance from on the map. Like you can hit servers from very far distance, but as I told you, it's you have to hit 8 blades. After you hit survivors with 10 blades, another power gets activated. It is called I forgot that. One minute, I forget his that power. What's that power? Forget that. Yes, it's main event. And during the main event, you get infinite blades for a short duration of time, and you throw blades very fast. And using main event, you can down a survivor. If you hit every blade on a healthy survivors of main event, you can down them totally. Okay, because get enough duration with main event, and as I told you, infinite blades, so you can down a survivors, means you can get a survivors to health stage. It's very good and can create decent map pressure, but not that good. So I'm going to place him in B tier. Now our Pinhead from Hellraiser series. So Pinhead's power has 3 parts: chain hunt duration, chain hunt, Lament configuration, summons of pain. Summon of pain, using you spawn a chain, and using that chain you can tie a survivor. Survivors become slow, means they are moving in a walking speed, but they can break the chains manually, or using environment or other survivors can help him to break chains. Another thing is Lament configuration. Lament configuration always spawns 40 meters from pinhead and 60 meters from every survivor. Whenever a survivor completes the lament configuration, the chain hunt timer gets resetted. But if they fail to complete that before chain hunt started, survivors will be latched with chain every few seconds, and they have to break the chains. They can't do healing, they can't do unhooking, they can't cleanse, they can't do anything, to be honest, if they don't solve the lament configuration. Like doing anything is very tough. And if Pinhead finds the lament configuration, he solves it. Every server screams and reveal their location, and the next time chain hunts starts immediately. Like there is no timing; it starts immediately. Pinhead is one of the best low counter killers, to be honest. But at the end of the day, against good killers, against good survivors, he is weak, and even against SWs is very weak. But he's a very strong killer, and yeah. Artist, my range killer. Okay, Artist has the power of crows. She can spawn dire crows, and if you are 10 meters 8 meters within the range of a dire crow, means a survivor is 8 meters within the dire crow, she can means injure the survivor or can down the survivor if they are already injured. Other than that, dire crows can travel across the map in a straight line after launch. Their direction means you have to spawn them by setting in the direction you want to send them. They can be turned like you can't curve them. Okay. Now, diacross can go through any object, and when they hit a survivor, if they go through an object and hit a survivor, after the 8 meter they hit a survivor, they swarm the survivor and create a crow swarm. Survivors can repel using the repel action, can get out of the swarm or can get into a locker quickly to get out of the crow swarm. But if a survivor is already swarmed and an artist hit them with another crow during that time, they will lose the health stage, and if they are already injured, they will be down. Other than that, if you are 1.5 meter near a flying dire crow, your location will be revealed by, means survivor's location will be revealed by killer instincts. Her kit is very good, and as I told you, within 8 meters she can hit a survivor. So her power is used as a loop counter power, and she's one of my killers that I play most of the time. She's a very good killer, like balance killer. You can get info, you can damage survivors, you can counter loops, and the only strong thing against her is that WK. But she is a very boring killer to face, but fun killer to play. And she's the ATA killer. She's very strong. To be honest, I am like surprised. There's four women in 8 years, and the strongest character is a woman also. Woman empowerment by behavior. That's good. That's very good. Now, another girl. Sorry. First, I said Spirit is the youngest killer in the killer roster, but it's the Onryo. I forgot about Onryo. I don't play her in that much. So Onryo's power is like manifestation and demanifestation. Whilst she is demanifested, means she is in phasing stage like Spirit, she can be palestined. Yes, you can't palestine Onryo while she is in her phasing stage. She does not have any slowdown while she is phasing, manifesting or demanifesting like Wraith. So while she is chasing, she can manifest and demanifest in her will, but she gets like due to the phasing effect, she is invisible sometimes, and maybe like Wraith, only if Andre in within 20 meters of you, you can see her. Maybe I forgot about her power. Like I did not play her for a very long time. So and she can teleport from TV to TV, where the TV spawn is really janky. Like in the most bad TV spawn you will get in Detox Saloon, because she has maybe 7 TVs, and many times it happens that all 4 TV spawn, 4 or 5 TV spawn inside the main building of Dead Dog Saloon. Like on the above there is a TV, bottom there is a TV, and If a survivor takes a tape from the TV to get out of the corruption or condemned stack, the TV he has to insert the tape maybe sometimes below him or just near the shack somewhere the TV is, and she heavily depends on the RNG factor of the TVs. So that's why her power is clumsy, not that strong. But when a survivor is fully cornered, she can mini mori them like instant kill. Other than that, her kit can't do that much, but she's a very good player to play, and she can pressure the map very easily. So I am going to place her in B tier. Uh, she's easily above a Legion. No, she has 4.6 meter per second speed. She does not get speed like bonus speed for like this. So yeah, she's above Queens. Dredge. Okay, Dredge, I have some topics like Dredge also have a lullaby when it's nightfall. If you don't know, you will hear baby cries. Okay, that you can hear while there is no nightfall, but during nightfall, you can hear baby cries, and it's if you are a good survivor, you can identify using that how far Dredge is. But as DBDM have audio bugs on every patch, and on mobile devices directional audio is not that strong. That's why other killers like Huntress or Trickster has those brackets, but Dredge does not have those lullaby brackets at all. Like I forgot about to tell, Victor also have a lullaby bracket for his grunts of pain, but Dredge does not have. It gives him a very good advantage in DBDM. Another advantage that he gets during nightfall, the screen is too dark. Even if you have full brightness, you can see everything very clearly. And Dredge, like even Dredge base skin, can camouflage inside that darkness. Another thing, in nightfall he travel map faster, like from locker to locker he can travel very faster, even if he has just the 3 tokens. And if someone is near the locker, like maybe it's 10 meters, they get revealed by killer instincts. His power is also can be used for loop countering, and except maps like Yamaoka Phantom of Wrath, Mount Ormond, Ironwood of Misery game, and Dead Dog Summer, every other map that is present in DVDM are smaller than their core DVD version. Yes, they are smaller than core DVD version. That's why Dredge gets a significant advantage. He can travel from locker to locker very easily because the maps are slightly small. But if the maps I talked about, if he spawn on those maps, it's similar to the code DVD, and that's why I'm going to place him A tier. By the way, he's going to be a tier killer anyway, because he's going to get buffs. Like those buffs are not added in DVDM yet. Now I'm going to talk about Knight. So Knight was a pay to win killer, and he had a rework in DVD. He did not have that rework yet in DVDM. So after, I will like create a killer tier list in March, because I think every rework or every buff will come in March. I don't know what Native was doing. Like there is a buff like the buffs we did not get yet. Like Doctor will get another buff. We don't have that. Baba will get another buff. We don't have that. Deathslinger will get a buff. We don't have that. Then yes, I forgot to talk about twins are going to get a rework. We don't have that yet. Dredge will get a buff and slight rework. We don't have that. Blight will have his hug tag removed and add-on reworked again, but we don't have that. Trapper will get a buff, like even if he resets his trap, he don't set his trap but reset a trap, which already this, and he will get a speed boost. We don't have it. um, Nightmare means Freddy also got some add-ons reworked or new effects added to those add-ons. We don't have that yet. uh, any other buff that is should have added in DBDM? No. These are the effects. Oh yeah, we don't have singularity buff where his kit is buffed, or um, no, unknown nerf is recent. Also, Chucky got a slight nerf or buff. No, that is also recent. Yeah, okay. So night rework will be uh, in March maybe. Like Nate is not added many things yet. So the night power. Here's three guards: assassin, a jailer, and carnifex. Carnifex is very good to instantly damage generator, break pallets, or breakable walls. But one thing, Carnifex does not apply perk powers. Like if you have a active pop and use a Carnifex to damage a generator, that pop effect will not be applied on the generator. So most of the time, use Carnifex to break pallets or breakable walls. And Carnifex, current version of Carnifex in DVDM is very good for chasing also. Assassin is the best chaser. Okay, assassin can down a like injured survivor and can put into deep wound stage a healthy survivor. Jailer is very good for camping. His like haunt radius is so large that you can literally camp any survivor and they will not get the unhook like anti-camp meter filled. They will not get the anti-camp at all. And knight 3 gen potential is very good, but he can create map pressure. Like if servers are good and they apply a good amount of brain, they can counter knight very easily. So knight is B tier easily, and his I will put him. He's better than Wraith also. I will put him here. Now the infamous Skull Merchant, who started as a S tier but then ended up the kind tier I'm going to take. So what Skull Merchant can? She has six drones. All the drones have two detection lines, and they're in stealth mode until a server get in their detection range. After that, they start scanning, and whenever a server gets scanned, their location is revealed to like Skull Merchant. If they get scanned constantly, they will get tagged and depuned stage for the first time. For the second time, they will be hindered and broken, and Skull Merchant will get a speed boost. Skull Merchant will get her power is very good to counter loops also. If you don't know, you don't need bamboozle. The current version of Skull Merchant is very good without any add-ons event. Okay. And another thing, Skull Merchant gets undetectable status whenever she plays a drone. She's strong, not means undoubtedly she's strong, and I will put her in A tier. Only weak part of her kit is the also the another thing that makes her strong, that many servers don't know how to counter her drones. Like you can easily crouch under her drone and heal yourself. Means if you are not doing anything, like you're standing, you're still standing, or crouch walking, or doing a generator, or healing someone, or healing yourself, or cleansing a totem, her drones can detect you. And many servers don't know that. Like I have seen many high tier servers, they don't know that. That scenario creates the Skull Merchant is 8 year, to be honest. She can easily win a match, and that's why she will get a rework. And after her rework, like her current version in code DVD, she's C tier in hands of good killermans of her mains, but a D tier very easily. But right now in DBDM, she's a A tier killer. She's very good. The next list, Singularity. Singularity's power, he has biopods. He can place 8 biopods, and using them he can tag survivors where a slipstream will attach to the survivors. Using biopods he can travel to those slipstreams. Like he can catch up to a survivor very quickly. Even if he's not using Viper, he can use his power to teleport a slipstream. After a slipstream travel, he gets a power that is called overclock, and during that, if a survivors head-on stun them or DS stun them or like palace stun them, the overclock power gets turned into overheat mechanism, and he gets hindered for the rest of the duration. Okay, means overclock duration. His power is very good to counter loops, vault location, and also he can like short his distance with the survivors very quickly. He can catch up to survivors very quickly, and also if a slipstreamed survivor is very near to a non-slipstream survivor for a certain amount of time, they that non-slipstream survivor will also get slipstream. Like the infection can be spread also. He is using his cameras. He can monitor the whole map also. But the part of what makes him weak is that his kit is very clunky and you need to be mechanically very good handling it. Like I can say that I practice means try to learn singularity, and without gyro you can't play this killer. Literally, you need to know how to use gyro very well. Other than that, survivors can use the EMPs to disable your pods, biopods, disable, and can remove the slipstreams very easily. And as I told you in when I was discussing about a previous killer, that the inbuilt quick messages or certain charms, like the charms you have, one charm can show you the injured survivor location. Using that, you can literally use EMP to disable a pod. Also can disable two slipstreams at the same time. And against SWS, playing singularity is very tough. Like they all the time has someone who's ready to use the UMP and disable your power. That's why his power feels very weak in DBDM. But in future he will get some buffs. After that, I have to see how his power is working. So I'm going to place him in B tier. But he's really good. I can place him really above Wraith also. His power is very good. Not a joke. Now Chucky. By the way, Chucky is a 4.4 meter per second killer, and his power may be playtime, called playtime. I don't know. I can't remember, but I never played Chucky by myself. I faced him many times as a survivor, and the most advantageous part of his is that he has a TPP camera, third person perspective like survivors. Also, he is a very small killer. He's the tiniest killer in this game. Okay, he's the tiniest killer in is this game, and like I have looped Chucky only those times when his red stain is active. Like I can actively see his red stain, or a small loop where I can see his footstep to know where he's going. Otherwise, like focusing on his body is very hard in DBDM, because you're already playing on a small screen, and in that screen you have to focus on a very small killer. Killer is very small. You have to focus on a very small killer, and that killer is also undetectable. Has a dash power like Oni's demon dash. It's very good, and like that power you can use to travel map, because that power has only 10-second cooldown. Chucky's power has the shortest cooldown at all. Like it has a 10 seconds cooldown. He's feels very strong, and that's why I'm going to place him according to DBDM on S tier. He's a very good killer in DBDM. He's very strong. And also another thing, in code DVD he has many voice lines, so even he's undetectable. Like his gibberish voice lines can reveal his location or from what direction he's coming, but due to censorship, many of the voice lines are removed in DVDM. That's why when he's undetectable, he don't speak that much. Like there is no voice line literally when he's undetectable, means when he's in power. So that's also give a huge advantage to Chucky's kit in DVDM. Now let's talk about unknown, the last killer of the tier list, because After the killers we have here, they aren't in DBDM. Only the Pyramid Head was in Pyramid Head and Demogorgon was in this game, but they will be added after March again. When they will added, I have to play them to know how are they now. So let's talk about Unknown. Unknown has a UBX, which is a range of projectile, and it bounces once from walls. So you can use it as a basketball ball, like throw it and aim. Basketball knowledge you have, you can use it to shoot on a wall and then hit a survivor. By the way, it when you shoot a UVX through a server, that server gets hindered for 2.2 or 2.3 seconds. Other than that, when it's hit a ground, it blasts and creates the area of effect. It has area of effect, and if the servers is in that blast radius, they get weakened. If a server get hit by the weakened status wave twice, they will lose a health stage. Means you can also down survivors using his UVX. Other than that, he like after certain duration of time, he um, places some hallucinations behind him. Okay, and whenever the his TP is ready, you can teleport to hallucinations. Also, you can control your hallucination spawn. If you know when the bar is getting filled, the both side a bar gets filled before you can spawn a hallucination. You can control whenever you are charging your UVX or you are in UVX mode. You don't spawn any hallucination, so you can control your hallucination spawns to place hallucination on certain areas, and you can control them by tipping everywhere. You can control them, and you can spawn two hallucination near to each other. That's also a very good advantage to Unknown. And as I told, Unknown does not have that much counter, and his power is also loop counterable. If you can place a hallucination on the loop, very good. And also his UBX effect serves through walls, like you break the range effect works behind the wall also, so survivors can't hug wall while looping can hug a tile that good. So if you are facing a server who's looping you like a regular M1 killer, you can literally damage them using your UVX. But one downside that the two downsides that Unknown have, survivors can dispel his hallucinations. So if you, even if you place the hallucination in a certain area, they can literally remove them so that you can TP. And if they are looking directly to you for a certain amount of time, they will get out of the weekend status event also. That's why I'm going to place Unknown in 8 year. This is a very good killer and is clearly above yeah, I will place him here. He's a very strong killer also. So this is the tier of my point of tier list for DBDM. And if you have any argue that no, I placed the killer in a wrong place, you can comment down below in the chat, and see you all next time with another video.